Hey guys, how are we doing? Welcome to another episode of your fitness and mental health podcast with me, Coach Rupert Wilson, the guy leaning in to get towards the microphone, even though he's got one on his neck. And today we are here with
Jon.
Jon, and your Instagram, Jon? And your
Jon Brown Coach.
Jon Brown Coach. And where are you heralding from today?
Where am I heralding from?
It's an old-fashioned, like...
Sorry, I'm too young for that one.
It's a night... Yes, I know. Go on, mate. Okay, so here we go. So I said to someone the other day, I'm not telling you how to suck eggs. Have you ever heard that before?
Yes, I've heard that one.
Okay, right.
Okay,
thank you. One, yeah. So I said that to a 22-year-old girl who was helping me with some social media. I said, look, I'm not telling you how to suck eggs. And she was like... Why would I want to suck an egg?
Yeah, no, okay, that's a picture. Even I use that term.
Yeah,
no, I've heard that one, don't worry.
Heralding means, where doth thou come from in the olden days of knights in the round table?
Right, okay. Now that's translated into a term I can actually understand. Coming from Crawley, so just a little town near Gatwick. Most people probably haven't heard of it too much. Nice.
And we're obviously, you're an online coach and a PT face-to-face in the real world. And I'm obviously Coach Rupert Wilson. See me on the YouTubes and on the Instagrams and all of that good stuff. As always, we are just sharing with you some ideas and some insights into what might help you with your fitness during the week, with the other goals and aspirations you've got going on, and all the other good stuff that you're trying to achieve. If this helps you, do drop a comment below. If there's something in it you like, get the conversation going, and let's make something happen on the old Instagram and YouTube comments below. So, what are we doing? Right now, we are a PT on the gym floor.
Yep.
And you are also online.
Yes.
And tell us a bit like, what brought you into this journey that stopped you from being a world-class music producer?
So throughout school, I wasn't really the best. I was quite misbehaved. I was quite, just didn't like education, didn't like being told what to do. So I never really knew exactly what direction I wanted to take when I left school, but obviously the way the education system is in the UK, you have to go straight into college. So at 16, you kind of have to decide exactly what you want to do from there. And the only thing I really enjoyed at the time was music. I just listened to music all the time. I always had my earphones in, getting lost in my own world. So I thought, okay, I'll do a music course, try that out and kind of see how that goes. So went to college for 2 years studying music, sound and production. So learning how to kind of record music, edit music, put it through the software and slap it all together, make it sound good and so on. But then through that, I was kind of like lacking the vision of where I actually wanted to take that. And in this time, the lockdowns happened and I got really into the gym to the point I'd say I was a little bit obsessive in the gym, but in a healthy way. It's like a healthy obsession. And I was just falling in love with the improvements that I was making, and everyone around me was also seeing the improvements that I was making. Also started up an Instagram at the time, and that grew quite well. That had about 5,000, 6,000 followers or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So it's not an active account anymore, unfortunately, for some reason.
What happened? You lost it?
No, at some point I just stopped using it for some reason. I grew it really well, and then I became a PT, and then I stopped using it.
And you can't get it back now?
No, it's still an account, but it's just quite dead. So it's But yeah,
that is, I see, and I do a pre-interview check with people, and I even said to you, like, what if you'd had an Instagram account pre-COVID? And you were like, yeah. Like,
so I didn't hear that one.
No. So the reason why a lot of people have like 10, 15K followers is because they had an account before COVID. So they got like 3,000, 4,000.
I remember this conversation.
Yeah. So what, you don't think it's worth pumping out now? Have you spoken to, I mean, we can stop this, it's fine, but like, you've not spoken to Dan about this?
No, so the thing is, like...
this is how you don't listen to your coach and you don't share stuff with your coach so he doesn't know how to help you.
So this account, like, I had when I was like 16 years old, right, and it was all like 3,000 followers.
Yeah.
Then I stopped using it for a few years.
Yeah.
And then I came back to it to post fitness-related stuff.
Yeah.
And grew it to 6,000 followers.
Yeah.
But that original like 3,000 followers, I kind of think of as like dead space. They're just like random like people. I wouldn't even know who they are, what demographic they are, and everything like that. So
here we go. We're going to dive into how to improve your social media engagement. So what would you do to engage with those 3,000 people? What would Dan tell you to do?
Message them.
Or run polls every day until somebody responds.
Yeah, true.
Polls.
True. All I really use it for now is when I post on my Jon Brown Coach Instagram, I repost the post on the story of that.
Okay.
But
and is it gaining traction? So you are still using it?
Yeah, I use it few and far between.
It's mind-blowing. It's hilarious. This whole podcast is now going to be how to...
But this is what I mean. My
you
account
think they're bots? You think they're like...
Yeah, I feel like it's...
bots?
Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I feel like if I post on that, it's just to a lot of like dead space.
Well, so now I'm going to jump a little bit, guys, because obviously I have ADHD and stuff like that. But Jon, one of the big things that you and me connected on, obviously we met at one of our mastermind days with our coach, our online coach, because we do obviously believe, as much as we tell you to get a coach, we have a coach, and we find that gives us people to drive off to and people to meet in our community. But one of the things about Jon is that you are a pretty swole dude. Insert pictures of his account here. But you are actually vegetarian.
Yes.
I mean, sorry for those of you listening, that means he only eats vegetables. No, but you do have dairy.
Yes, I couldn't live with being a vegan. I love cheese too much. I love milk too much. Greek yogurt and eggs, daily essentials, like all of those are in my diet daily. Yeah. So I could not live without those. But I've been a vegetarian, so not eating like just actual meat itself. Yeah. And gelatin for 12 years, I think. Okay. Now. So. Yeah,
and was that linked to you wanting to be a vet when you were younger?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, when I was really little, I really wanted to be a vet. And my mum was a vegetarian. I was really close to my mum. I still am close to my mum.
Okay.
But I feel like, where I wanted to be a vet and she was a vegetarian, I was like, hang on, well, I want to save animals, so I'm eating animals. And then my mum was a vegetarian, so I thought, I'll just give it a go. And I didn't like a lot of meats anyway, so it wasn't really tough for me to give up. Maybe it was just my mum's cooking, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just didn't like a lot of meats. That was a joke, by the way.
I see, sorry.
Yeah, so no, I just didn't like a lot of meats. So yeah, it was never difficult for me to give up, and then I just never felt the need to go back to it once I did give it up.
And then now let's dive into a bit of nutrition. Is that because the reason why I said about the vegetarianism, is that on your account with the 6,000 followers, one way to definitely play with that account is you can just go big on some comments and posts. Yeah, you could make those classic Instagram posts of like why I believe you should never eat meat if you want to be a swollen bodybuilder, and then just see who comments. Because then you'll
rage bait. That's what.
Rage bait is what it's called, right?
Just try to piss people off for engagement. Basically.
Yeah. Rage bait. Oh, I like that. I didn't know that was a thing. I just think generally I do laugh bait. Like,
so you taught me a term, I'll teach you a term.
Yeah. I just make people laugh with my stupid content. Seriously, on your diet and nutrition, what do you actually believe it is possible? And this isn't meant to come out as a rage comment. It is obviously possible to hit your protein. Yes. I can't hit my protein.
Yeah, everyone's seen that.
And be a vegetarian. Well, who eats milk and dairies? But you're not just eating 25 eggs a day.
No. So I do eat a fair bit of dairy, but it's by no means like an excessive amount of dairy. So I drink about 600 millilitres of milk a day or so. That's not just drinking milk, that's like in protein shakes, cereal and stuff like that. But throughout the day, I probably consume about 600 millilitres. And then I have 400 grams of Greek yogurt and whey protein powder. But in terms of dairy, that's probably about it. I then have 5 eggs a day.
Okay.
But the rest of my protein comes from things such as corn products, which is 95% a controlled grown fungus, which is then mixed with, I think, frozen egg whites or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, it's mixed with egg whites and then frozen.
Okay.
So it's quite minimally processed compared to a lot of the other products that you can have. And then aside from that, I eat a few soy products, occasionally tofu, but I'm not the biggest fan of it.
No.
And
it's just strange to cook, isn't it? And especially if you don't like chicken, it's very like chicken.
Yeah, well, I don't even think it's like chicken. I just think it's really mushy. And like it's just like, a lot of the time it feels hollow, which is weird to say for a food, but it just feels like you're eating like a watery plastic bag. Yeah. But then sometimes I'm in the mood for a watery plastic bag.
Have you not tried just like cubing it and then air frying it into like
I haven't tried that, but when it's fried is when I like it.
Yeah,
so probably air fried
food isn't very good.
Yeah, no, exactly, which is why I say I very rarely eat it.
And then on that, just for the people listening at home, and like, what is the cuttest you've managed to get? And are you cutting at the moment, or are you bulking?
So right now I'm at a maintenance phase. I've just done a cut phase where I lost 13 kilograms in the space of about 12 weeks.
Wow.
So I was 116 kilos, and that was after a bulk of 77 weeks. So when I do bulk, I commit to a long-term bulk, just steady to build the muscle mass with minimal fat gain. And I got to a point where I felt like I've gained a fair bit of fat now. I was feeling a little bit conscious for the first time ever. Instead of feeling like I was too skinny, I actually felt like I was a little bit too chubby. And my fitted tops, which would usually make me feel good because my shoulders look good, my chest look good, my arms look good, I was thinking, my belly's a little bit more protruding than I'm used to. So I thought, time to pull back a little bit. Yeah, stripped off that 13 kilos, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm in a maintenance phase, ready to go back into a surplus next week.
Nice. Not doing the photo shoot on the 7th.
No, I'm not doing the photo shoot because the plan is to either do a photo shoot or compete next year. But we'll kind of see what that is, bodybuilding.
Okay, tell us. You remember, I have to imagine it's like if we're talking to people from a completely different planet.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
So what are you actually thinking of doing? IFBB or whatever it's called now?
No. So obviously with bodybuilding, you can either do shows where it's untested. So a lot of people will obviously be on performance enhancing drugs or steroids, however you want to put it, but they'll be on supplements to enhance their physique. Yeah. Or you can go down the natural route and compete in shows which are actually tested, and they'll test you to see whether or not you've taken drugs to enhance your physique. So that's the route that I'd go down. I'd go down tested shows. There's a division called the UK DFBA or something.
Okay.
I quite like to compete with them, and WMBF as well, which is World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. They're one of the most prestigious natural federations on the planet, really. So I'd quite like to compete with them, but I'm unsure because obviously right now where I'm in a phase where I'm growing my business, I don't know if obviously competing takes over your life. So I don't know if trying to balance building the business and competing is realistic. So that's something I need to work out over the next few months or so. But I certainly want to at least do a photo shoot next year to really see what my physique is looking like when I shred down, because I've spent so much time bulking. Like my first bulk, I started at 70 kilos and I got right up to roughly 108 kilos, cut down to 99. My next bulk, I went up to 116 and I cut down to where I'm at now, 103. And this is over a 5-year period. So I spent all my time bulking and never cut down to properly see the muscle. Right,
so 5 years ago, just around pre-COVID or around, you got into body weightlifting.
That's when
You were 70 kilos and 6 foot tall.
Yeah, 6 foot.
So I'm obviously a PT, but
I said 6'1", don't forget
6'1", sorry, 6'1". So that is skinny.
Yeah, very skinny.
Very skinny.
Skinny, yeah.
So here's a loaded question. So do you help people skinny guys build up size as well? Is that one of your
I do
your niches that you like?
Yeah. What I love doing is helping guys who are skinny, unconfident, and feel like they want a bigger frame and a more masculine frame, bulk up and build muscle. But at the same time, where I've been at the other end of that, where I've finished my bulks and I've kind of been I'm feeling a little bit chubbier than I like, I also relate to those people who are carrying more fat than they'd ideally like to. So I also love helping people strip back. So I'm very happy. As long as you want to build muscle to some extent, then I love helping people no matter what side of the journey you're at.
Yeah, but just go into that though, because even the top of my head, without me having a being your coach or anything like that, to go from 70 to sit now at 103, that's huge in 5 years, is it? That's really impressive work. That's 30, and how much of that is just pure stat muscle?
That's why I want to cut down next year and do either a show or a photo shoot to see. Yeah, because I've never cut down as lean as I was at 70 kilos.
Right.
To really just see the muscle mass.
Really?
I'd say right now I'm toned.
Yeah.
Whereas I've never been shredded.
Right.
So,
but clearly you must see your whole frame. You must have pictures inside.
100%.
Where you're a skinny basketball player looking guy, and now you're probably known in the gym as Big John, the vegetarian.
That's what everyone. Yeah, I don't want to say everyone, but a lot of people do call me Big John.
Do they? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd never guessed that. Knowing that you were 70. I often meet clients all the time that are I cannot put on size. I go to the gym. All I do is just rake thin my arms, and it's so just give us a bit of a really nice easy overview idea of what does actual bulking for muscle growth, what would be your top tips, and what do you need to do? But super high level, nothing too, unless you want to go deep into the dive, and then I'll just get another cup of tea.
Yeah, fair enough. If I start rambling, just pull me out.
No, that's okay. Here we go. Yeah. So if you're looking to get size, watch the next minute and a half.
Yeah, literally. So I'd say obviously tracking your nutrition helps, because then you just know exactly what it is you're eating.
Yeah.
But basically just do the Harris-Benedict's equation, I find is the most accurate one, but you can literally just type up calorie calculator online.
Yep.
Just type in all your details there, and it will tell you how much you need to eat to maintain your weight. So then you download a calorie counting app, start counting your calories to make sure you're at least hitting that to start off with, and just kind of see what you're averaging, trying to hit at least that number.
Sure.
From there, increase it by about 300 calories, and hopefully you'll start to see some weights starting to gain.
And of that 300 calories, how much of that should be protein?
So your protein target, you work out by getting your body weight, times it by 1.5 to start off with. If you can get that up to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, then that's ideal if you're really looking to maximise muscle growth, in my opinion. But most research suggests it doesn't need to be that high, and you will build muscle off 1.5. So.
And then how many times have I got to go to the gym? Say I'm super skinny, never trained, I've got newbie gains. How many times are you going to put me in the gym in the first couple of weeks? Obviously, I'm not selling your program like away your secrets, but let's just give it to somebody.
So firstly, I'd ask how many days can you realistically commit to? Sure. And if you told me like, oh, maybe 3 to 4, I'd say, okay, 3. I'd ignore the, oh, maybe 3 to 4. Just take that away, because that's like, 4 is what you want to be doing, but 3 is what you know you realistically can commit to. That's the first answer. Yeah. So, and 3 is a good amount. I'd say if someone says 2, I'd say to them, do you think you could push it to 3? If someone tells me 3, I'll go, okay, great, that's enough.
I agree with that fully. Like, I definitely have that at the moment with a lot of clients. They're just like, well, I can do 2. And I'm like, it's okay, but like, we're really looking for 3 weight sessions. And we also need that 4th one to be maybe, well, minimum steps or cardio. But anyway, Definitely. So we've got...
there's 7 days in a week. And when you think like you're going 2 days, that's 5 days where you're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of days.
And they literally end up doing nothing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our 300 calorie surplus 3 times in the gym. Now, how do I know how much weight and reps? Now, John, keep this featherweight,
Okay.
Don't go into like a super, like, are there any fun tricks or hacks to like try and give somebody the right idea whether they're lifting the right amount or lifting enough?
Yeah, set yourself a range. Okay. So pick 10 to 12, 12 to 15, 8 to 10, something like that, okay? Yep. See what you work well with. Me personally, I like 8 to 10, but I've got some clients that like a higher than that, okay? So pick a rep range, select a weight where you can only manage the lower end of that rep range. So let's use 8 to 10 as an example, okay? I'd get a weight that I can only manage 8 reps of, okay? And that's my point of failure. I can't do any more than 8. I'd then progress that to the point that I can do 10 reps and then 11 reps. Yeah. Now I'm exceeding that rep range. Yeah. So I'd increase the weight.
For next week?
I'd increase the weight whenever I then am able to get to the higher end of the rep range. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So say like over a 4-week period, if I can do 10 kilograms on my chest press for 8 reps, and that's my point of failure, and then over the course of like 4, 5, 6 weeks, however long it takes you, you get to the point where you can do 10 reps or 11 reps. Yeah. You then increase the weight and go back down to 8 reps.
And then how many sets of 8 should I do?
3.
3?
I think 3 sets is just a good number.
Okay.
Obviously, excluding your warm-up sets, you want to do a couple of warm-up sets. But in terms of your working sets, I think 3 is a good amount. If you're training hard and you're training to the point of close to failure, then you don't need to be doing 4 or 5 sets or anything like that.
And what happens if I don't have a personal trainer and I don't feel comfortable? Say I do 4 reps on my last set of 8, should I rest and try and push out the other 4, or should I drop, or what should I do?
Me personally, I'd recommend to drop the weight. Not all 3 sets, and this is something I speak to a lot about with my clients, is that not all of your sets has to be the same amount of weight. A lot of people seem to be caught up in like, oh, if like my first working set has to be the same weight as my last working set. But actually, obviously, each set you're going into with more fatigue accumulated. You know, you're going to be more tired with each set. So if you need to decrease the weight to still hit that rep range, it doesn't matter. As long as you're still pushing yourself an equal amount in terms of how hard you're pushing your body, it doesn't matter what weight you're lifting. Does that make sense?
Yes, it will do when I play it back. No, it does make sense to me, obviously. It does make sense to me. It's nice to know. And this is also part of the reason why there is no sort of just textbook way to just get into bodybuilding unless you're going to watch hours and hours of YouTube.
Oh, God,
like,
yeah. 100%.
Did you ever have a personal trainer back in the day, or how did you learn all of this?
I didn't, because I was young when I got into the gym. So I was obviously 16. And the first couple of years of me really learning about the gym was throughout lockdown. So I couldn't really I guess I could have got an online coach, but I didn't really know what it was at the time. So looking back, I would have invested into myself, because I actually understand the value of investing into myself now. But back then I was a little bit too young, I didn't really understand it. And I tried to learn it all by myself. I was very overwhelmed, did a lot of shit that was absolutely pointless.
Like what? Tell us some of the pointless shit. We love pointless shit. Ab wheels? No, I'm only joking.
No, I didn't do ab pulls. I did, but just high volume stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'd train sometimes for like 4 hours.
Nice.
Because I'd watch.
We've all been there. Yeah. When you're having 3-minute rests.
No,
you were just training for hours.
I was just doing so many different exercises because I was like, what's the best exercise for shoulders? And some videos would be like lateral raise.
Yeah.
Other videos would be like front raise.
Yeah.
Other videos would be like rear delt. Other ones overhead press. I'd be like, okay, well, if I do all of them, then I'm doing all the best exercises. So I can't not grow, you know.
Yeah. So, but secretly on that though, like there have been the times where you do want to break through a plateau, and I mean I do, but I can't even tell clients this because then they go, well that's I can't do that. But there have been times where I have gone to the gym on a Friday night because I'm not drinking before I quit drinking because I'm not drinking. I've already trained 3 times that week or 4 times, or I've done CrossFit that morning, and then in Friday evening I will literally just do the biggest chest and back session.
Nice.
Yeah, for like an hour and a half until my arms are literally popping out of the.
Yeah. Nice.
And look, there are those days when you do those sessions.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You don't need to do them though.
No.
But it does help, sort of like really put like a line in the sand sometimes. No.
But this was like a whole nother extreme. This was like dumbbell bicep curls with cable bicep curls with wide grip bicep curls with barbell wide grip, and like 6 different bicep curls after doing a whole back workout. Like it was crazy, wasting so much time. But I'm grateful I did it because it taught me exactly what not to do. So, but that's why I wish I'd invested into myself back then, because then it would have been a case of like just cutting out all the unnecessary crap. But you'd make the mistakes to learn, right?
And when did you start seeing size and mass coming on in that first, do you remember back then, in that first period? When did it start? When did your shoulder, like you start really, traps and shoulders fill out?
I don't remember a definitive date, but I remember a very definitive moment.
Okay.
So I ride a motorbike, but back then it was a little moped. So I was whizzing along at 35 miles an hour, that it could go, top speed. And I went down a little pothole. I remember I felt my chest bounce a little bit. And I was so excited. Like I've never, like, because I was so used to being skinny, I wasn't like, you know, my body was just a stick. Like nothing moved on it, sort of. It was just dense bone. So actually feeling something move, I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Like that felt great.
Yeah.
So then, that was probably the first bit. Aside from that, it was just general like fitted t-shirts kind of becoming too tight that I was like, okay, I have to throw that out, get a bigger one now. And when I first bought a medium-sized Gymshark top. I remember messaging my mate and saying, I've just bought a medium-sized Gymshark vest, because I was a small before that. So
mad. Like, but so just really just hit it home to the guys that like, so do you train skinny guys to get bigger? Like, and it is possible.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. The same way that you'd say like, oh, anyone can. Unless you have a medical condition, obviously, anyone can lose weight if you move more and eat less, to oversimplify it.
Right.
Anyone can gain weight if you just eat more.
But were you not a big eater before? Or?
No.
So you were a big eater?
No, I wasn't a big eater.
You weren't? So,
no, I had no appetite.
Yeah. So how do you, so again, that seems to be almost, and I know this is really a difficult one for people to listen to if you're overweight and you're like, well, I can eat all the time. And like, I definitely like to eat a lot, and I sometimes eat for comfort as well. But how did were you literally forcing meals in at points?
Oh God, yeah, 100%. And even when I bulk now, I still have to do that because I have no appetite. Like when I just lost 13 kilos, for me, I found it easy because I don't have a big appetite.
Right.
So I was still probably eating more food than I'd ideally like to while losing 13 kilos. Then, but then when it comes to bulking and gaining weight, I'm eating like 6 meals and a snack a day sort of thing. So it's a lot of food to constantly be pumping in, especially when you're working it around clients early morning, midday, evening, you're working it around your online business and everything like that, as you understand. It can become difficult to juggle, but fit 6 meals into that plus a couple snacks, it's crazy. But when I first started bulking, I remember I was literally like throwing the food back up and things like that. And then I'd go, well, shit, that's that calorie wasted. So I'll just go and make that meal again and eat it.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, I will do this. There was times I had to get up at like 7, 8 a.m. for work the next day, but I'll be up at like 2 or 3 a.m. still eating because I was just like, I'm just going to do it. This is necessary for me to get the result I want.
But what activated in your head to want to get bigger? Like why couldn't you just be athletic and be toned? And like by the time you'd done 3 sets of pull-ups, like at 10 reps, what made you want to get big? Like,
I guess there's just that natural human desire to want more. Like, you know, I wanted something that like a lot of people probably didn't think that I could get, and like, I didn't even really think that I could get. I think as well, like I was fed up. I was always quite strong. I did a lot of gymnastics and trampolining as a kid.
Okay.
Another thing I didn't tell you when you asked me.
No.
If I've done anything.
It's totally normal. 35 minutes in, I'm very excited. Any moment now you're going to tell me that you used to work for the cartel. I'm expecting it at any point. Yeah. So you were a gymnast. Please tell me you weren't in Team GB.
No, I wasn't.
No worries. Okay.
But yeah, I lost my train of thought.
So you were really good at doing pull-ups and gymnastics and backflips and stuff like that?
Yes, yeah. And I think people were always surprised when they found out like I was strong.
Right.
And I was like, fuck this, I want you to know I'm strong when I walk into the room sort of thing. So I guess it was a bit of an egotistical thing as well.
Right.
But yeah, I think and I always admired big physiques as well. I used to always scroll through like Instagram and things like that on social media, see these bodybuilders eating like 4,500 calorie diet, see them lifting all these weights and being like, I want to do that. Why can't I do that sort of thing? So, yeah. So come
on then, let's have a fun facts then. Go on, give us some big stats. What did we pull when we were at the biggest, fluffiest stage of our bulk? What were we like pulling off the floor and pressing, and just for funsies?
So I haven't deadlifted. I'm 22 now, pretty much. Next week for reference. Okay. So I haven't deadlifted since I was 18. But when I was 18, I was doing 200 for set 6.
Okay, you want to maybe tell us why you haven't deadlifted since then? If you're going to tell me you've had a fused back and you're in a wheelchair for 6 months.
No. Just because I'd personally, controversial take, I don't think deadlifts are the best for muscle growth. They're incredible for strength, but I think if you want to grow muscle like in your back and hamstrings, there's better exercises you can do.
Give me some, quick.
Leg curls, RDLs, hip thrusts, barbell rows, and different things.
No RDLs?
Huh?
RDLs?
Romanian deadlift?
Yeah, you did. Oh, you did. Oh, you do them, but you do them off the rack?
No, I do them off the floor. Okay. So, but I'm talking specifically about conventional deadlifts. So,
okay, right.
So like just dead weight off the floor.
Okay,
sort of
fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite normal for a bodybuilding world. No bodybuilding world does. Yeah, but they do them out the rack.
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, okay, fine. True. Yeah. But wasn't he always a bit more of a...
He was like a powerlifter.
Powerlifter first, yeah. But good, you test my knowledge then. Yeah. Fuck, I passed that one. Yeah. But normally RDLs are done out the rack. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, I've been watching this.
Oh, sorry, I picked them up off the rack, step back, and then do them, and then put them. Sorry, I thought you meant like.
So what is this all about though? Like, I'm sorry, but I just, as a CrossFitter and as somebody that does traditional deadlifts, right? I will deadlift the first one and then do my RDLs. Yeah. And then the other day I was like, right, I'm going to do them out the rack. Yeah. So de-racked it, shuffled back like a little penguin, and then did them.
The penguin shuffle.
Right. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but I'm just like, what a controversial point.
No time.
What is the fucking point? Yeah. And also, it's more dangerous, I'm sure, to like probably. Shuffle and your traps are wasting energy holding it. No?
See, that's what I'd say about lifting it off the floor. I'm wasting energy picking it up off the floor I could get an extra rep out of.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. It's a tricky one, isn't it? It's almost like they need to have like little robotic cubes that go down underneath the weight. So you could just hold it and then it goes bzz, and then it's floating.
I saw a video once with Eddie Hall and he had his shoulder press is so heavy that he didn't want to have to lift it up. Yeah. So he bought something that lifts it up to him. Yeah. So he just unracks it from here and goes into his dumbbell shoulder press and then just drops them back.
Love it.
Yeah, need that for RDLs.
So you haven't deadlifted, but it was 200.
Yeah, 200 for a set of 6.
Right, and then bench?
Bench, like 120 for a set of 8. Not that impressive.
But that's 100 for 8 though.
I don't really bench that much though.
No? So, why? Go on. We're in it now. Here we go. Hold on tight because we're going to piss some people off. Because it's all about incline bench, because incline bench is much better and it's better to do it with dumbbells.
There you go.
Boom!
That is the answer.
Watch some videos.
Incline dumbbell press. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Okay. Well, this is good. I like it. Do you want to talk to Mike? And
Yeah,
Sam
Dr.
Sulek.
Mike Israel.
Yeah. And any Sam Sulek, or do you don't believe in Sam?
I've watched a couple of Sam Sulek's videos just because I like his style of video, like raw and authentic. But I don't. Yeah, I think his training methods are a bit mad. Like he's just does what he wants and it works just because he's jacked. So.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like Chinese powerlifters and Chinese Olympic weightlifters. Like they throw the empty bar on the floor, like because they've got like as many bars as they want. But in other gyms, it's like that's an absolute no to throw the bar on the floor. Okay, so we're not flat benching anymore. No. But what are we dumbbell pressing then in an incline?
50s for 6.
Ooh,
6 to 8 reps.
Who's picking them up for you? You.
Me.
You are Big John, aren't you? You must own the gym. Do you just walk up to people and be like, put that down, little man?
I need that bench. So it's done.
Oh man, I love it. Okay, I love it. But you are just the most friendliest guy as well. Like we were at this mindset thing, and you were just literally just like chatting to me. Like you give no ego about any of this. I think you'll be if you want to go for a show like that, I think you'll be such a good guy. Because if anything, you know, you have to get in the trenches with something to then know what it's going to do for your coaching, you know, to know 100%. What it's going to push you. Like, I think it will only take up all of your mind if you let it. Otherwise, it could be your passion outside of your business.
Yeah, definitely. So it's about trying to strike that balance, and that's something I need to decide really over the next, like before the end of the year, if I'll be able to manage, because the prep for it would start in the new year. So.
Yeah, but I mean, you can always come 20th to still do a show. You don't have to win, but I'm sure that's again another pointless comment talking to John, because he's a winner. He's like, I'm in the top 3 or I ain't doing it.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is why I'm like, can I give my all to it? And if not, then it's just a photo shoot sort of thing. Yeah, but I say just a photo shoot. It's still difficult to get like lean for a photo shoot.
Oh yeah, definitely. Super difficult. Like, I mean, I haven't done it. I'm not in the mad rush to do it right now. I'm a bit more about fitness for everyday life, and I'm also about. I mean, I just struggle with food sometimes when I get stressed with my ADHD, and when I get stressed with things, I really find it hard to put not eating as a priority. Like
hyperfixation sort of thing.
Yeah, I just want to be successful in other areas of my life, and I enjoy eating some food. I will know when I'm eating too much. Like that's definitely a mistake I've made before. Like I will bounce back from the trimmest I've been and then just eat fucking, excuse my French, Doritos dipped in butter because I'm just stupid. Nice. Because for some reason I just justify it back. Like, but the thing is that here's one that you might like and latch into, right? How many times have you sat down with a client and talked about what their food looks like every day? It's fine. And then they, oh yeah, well, you know, like John, so I'll have a bit of muesli for breakfast and then a bit of yogurt, and then I'll get to work and I'll just have chicken sandwich from Pret. And then I'll get home and the wife would have cooked some fish or chicken, and we eat really well, we eat really clean. Yeah,
the typical story.
Yeah, and it's like, so why are you 15 fucking kilos overweight? 25 kilos overweight. You don't touch Doritos, you don't touch ice cream. Yeah, and then I'm like, do you like chocolate? No, not really a big sweet fan. Okay, do you like drink? Yeah, I have a few drinks on the weekend, but I don't drink during the week. Okay. So where is 6,000 calories coming from?
Yeah, something's going wrong here.
And I just wonder whether it's okay. This is one post I was going to make, and I'll share it with you, and I'll share it with you guys at home. Is I was going to actually make reverse posts about, rather than be like, look at my amazing salmon salad poke bowl that's like 18 grams of protein and 6 grams of carbs. I was going to be like, look at what you could eat for dinner, and I bet you don't know that's 3,500 calories.
Oh yeah,
like a Chinese.
Yeah, I think that's more effective, 100%. Like a curry.
Yeah,
just like tikka masala, just that like takeaway pot has about 1,000 calories in at least.
Right.
Like that's mental. In just the curry.
How much do you think a tablespoon of mango chutney is going to be? A teaspoon of mango chutney.
Probably like 50 to 60 calories per, if you're talking just a teaspoon.
Yeah. And then we've got, plus it's just sugar.
Yeah.
Then we've got like a naan. And then we're going to have a bit of rice with it.
Like 400 calories per naan bread.
Then I might have a bit of rice. I've probably had 2 onion bhajis because I am on a diet.
Nice. Well
and the poppadoms, because I was waiting for the food to come.
Yeah, the poppadoms are the only things that aren't actually that bad in calories. Okay. They're about 30 calories each.
But I've dipped them in the yogurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, good. So the other day for Chinese, I had prawn toast, dim sum, noodles, chicken and black bean sauce, and a couple of my daughter's Hong Kong style chicken balls, which is like chicken wrapped in pastry. I'm just
What's chicken?
But like, it's so mad, isn't it? And then afterwards, you eat all that, and you go, well, not you, but the rest of us go, ooh, maybe I'll just have a little bit of chocolate while watching a movie. So you've literally done 5,000 calories in 3 to 5,000 calories in a meal, one meal a week. Now, if you divide that 3,000 over the week, and you're trying to even hit any sort of deficit, because you're not hitting 10,000 steps, because even give us that. Like, you hit 10,000 steps on Saturday with your kids, or whatever you young lads do without having any. But like, do you also see that as well? They're like, oh yeah, I hit 10,000, and then you look at the 10,000, it's like 10,000 Friday, 10,000 Saturday,
and the rest of it is like
2,500,
3,000.
Yeah,
or it's like constantly yo-yoed like that. It's like 10,000, just a couple sporadic times throughout the year.
So, but have you ever had to do the actual cardio? Do you ever do the cardio on the treadmill? Or on the stepper or whatever? Do you ever do the 20 minutes of cardio?
Yeah, so in this recent cut, I put cardio in just simply because obviously cardio is undeniably beneficial for your health. So I thought all this bulking has got to be, like, to a certain extent it's good for you to have muscle mass, but obviously when you're just constantly bulking and eating more food than technically what your body like needs, obviously at some point that's going to catch up with you over the years and all the weightlifting and everything like that. So I was like, I should probably do something which isn't just for the aesthetic of my body and actually for the health of my body. So I added in cardio 2 times a week in my cut that I've just done. And now my maintenance and going into this bulk, I'll be keeping it once a week.
Okay, interesting. Sam Sulek, he does the cardio all the way through both.
Yes, that's one thing I do very strongly agree with him, actually.
But then again, he does do steroids.
Yeah, so
he says like, he does it.
Yeah.
And what about cereal then? So do you believe in any of this dirty bulk stuff or not?
Yeah, to me, dirty bulking is just stupid. Like, when I'm bulking...
Explain that, though, so you need to... And it does also, if you ever want any clips or anything, it's great if you just repeat it. Like, I think dirty bulking is a load of bullshit because X, X, Y.
Okay.
You don't have to do it now.
I'll do that now.
Yeah, go on, do it now.
Watch me nail this.
This is really fun. I really enjoy this.
No, so I feel like when we've both got ADHD, it's just tangent after tangent.
Yeah, but it's all about deep weightlifting, which nobody can handle at home, probably.
Your least viewed podcast you ever posted.
No, it's fine.
It will just be me watching it.
No, there's some unreleased ones that will never be watched. I'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We were talking about dirty bulking.
Thank you, I'm just so laughing every time I do it now. I think dirty bulking. I'm going to look at you like.
No, look at the camera.
Which camera are we looking at, by the way?
Whatever one you want.
Okay, cool.
This one I can get them faster, but they're both good, and it really doesn't matter. Yeah. One's going to catch the left of your eye and the right. Yeah, the idea is what you do is you look at both and then cross your eyes. No, don't do that.
Okay.
But you would just be like, look, the reason why do you think dirty bulking is an absolute load of shit?
I think dirty bulking is awful just
it's too flat, it's fine.
I know what we're doing now.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it again. Yeah, I think dirty bulking is just an awful idea just because...
It's fine.
Because I think of what I'm saying now.
But why is it a load of shit? So why can't... So what could... Okay, here's a different question. What could I dirty bulk on that is actually not a dirty bulk, but it's actually a great high-calorie... like high in fats, high in good calories, but people would think it's dirty bulking. And what should I not dirty bulk on? Does that make sense? So would it be okay to eat like mackerel high in fishy oils and like, what about butter? Should I still eat butter? But should I obviously back away from chocolate, Doritos, peanut? And, what about peanut butter?
I see. So I think the big misconception about dirty bulking is that people think that
calories is calories.
Yeah, I think so.
But in the negative way.
Yeah, 100%. I think people like think of it too black and white. I think like as long as I'm getting the calories in, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in actuality, obviously, that fuel that you're putting into your body is getting digested and absorbing into your body. It's going to affect you in some way. It's not just about the calories. It's about the micronutrients in those calories, which a lot of people don't think about. So I think the reason that people mess up a bulk most of the time is because they think, oh, it's my excuse to eat whatever the hell I want. I can eat muffins, I can eat cakes, I can eat really high sugar foods and it gets me to my calorie target, so that's great. And I'd be lying if I said when I bulk, I haven't, like, when I'm really full, when I feel like I can't eat anything, I haven't relied on those foods like here and there, but maybe only for like a couple hundred of the calories of my daily limit.
Yeah.
But I think where people when people really fail is they rely on all of their calories to be full by that sort of thing.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, no, entirely. And I think this is where we do get a bit technical on people, is that like it is probably like easier to eat, 2 bars of Whisper chocolate or whatever, insert any of your favourite chocolate here, than it is probably to eat, bread's a good one, right? I worked with another guy who wanted to run a marathon. We actually weighed out 40 grams of carbs in probably one of the most refined ways we could get it. It was either rice or we were going to go with just sweet potato. So in order to make it a bit more palatable for him, we mixed the two together, which wasn't very nice. And 50 grams of carbs, so that's grams of carbs in the macros, not the actual weight of the food, ended up being like a huge bowl, like a massive bowl. And he needed to theoretically eat this before the race the next day.
But if you wanted 50 grams of carbs, you could have eaten a muffin, like that big sort of thing. I feel like that's where
30 grams of it would have been sugar.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like people just think, oh, there's carbs in it, so it's great. But actually what they don't think about is the release of those carbohydrates into your system is just going to spike you up like that. So you buzz and you'll have loads of energy, and then they don't consider the crash afterwards. Whereas if you eat something like the potato or the bread, it's going to be a bit more slow releasing, obviously, as long as it's not high in sugar bread. It's going to be a bit more slow releasing into the system, or a lot more slow releasing into the system, sorry. So you're actually going to have a more even energy distribution throughout your session. So it's actually going to keep you energized rather than spiking and crashing.
Did you ever try cream of rice, the core?
No, never.
You never got into that yet?
No, never.
Okay, that'll be on your... If you get a prep coach, that'll definitely be on your list.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I've seen loads about it, but I've just never...
Needed to.
Yeah, like all the stuff that I do works for me right now.
Yeah.
So I've never...
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And so 5 eggs every day. Is that 5 eggs going to be scrambled, or is it going to be fried, or is it going to be different? Do you get inventive, or are you just very much like, it's 10 o'clock, I'm having my 5 eggs?
Yeah, no, so
you cook them in the microwave in the gym, and just, you do, don't you?
No, so actually, I've got a funny story about that. Every Friday, I work a 4-hour short shift with one of my colleagues' kids. She's great, I really get along with her. But I always bring in my 5 boiled eggs with it, and then I open the tub and it fucking stinks, the whole thing. And I'm sat at the reception desk as everyone's walking in. Everyone's like frowning, but they don't want to say anything. And I'm just sat there eating, and she's trying to do her work, like making the rota or something, and she hates it so much. But yeah, if they're not boiled and taken to work, I'll have them. Yeah, I'll just rotate it so I don't get bored of it. I'll have them fried on breads. I'll have them boiled by themselves. I'll have them like scrambled on toast and everything like that. So it just rotates it. So
I love it. We've talked about your amazing gain, your ability to have put on muscle, and you're falling in love with the gym. Now you've decided to share this love with clients and with people becoming a personal trainer. Tell me about some of the clients that you've helped or that have made a difference to, that you feel like might help somebody at home who right now is sitting on the sofa thinking like, I don't know, Jon's maybe talking a load of shit, there's no way I can do this, or Rupert's talking a load of shit, I just can't get to the gym, it's bleak, weather's kicking in, or I just rather just not, I don't like gyms, Who have we changed lives with, like in your world, Jon?
A lot of clients come to mind when you say that, but I particularly remember one of my first ever clients, or literally my first ever client actually, back when I was at Nuffield. She came in, she had a walking stick, she was limping, and she was very overweight, and I was thinking, oh fuck, I'm not cut out for this. And she sat down, she told me she had fibromyalgia, which is, I had to research it a lot of the time, but it's like, a motor neuron disease. She also had a misaligned hip, ankle mobility problems, and several other issues, which I'm sure I can't remember. And she had a lot of body weight to lose, or body fat to lose more specifically. And I was just thinking, I don't know if I can do this, but I still took her on as a client, worked with her for about 6 months or so, maybe a little bit longer than that. And in that period, she dropped over 20 kilograms of body weight. And by the end of it, the only reason she had to stop her one-to-one sessions with me was just purely for financial reasons. She had to actually leave the gym, unfortunately. But in the last session, I remember her literally like crying to me, saying like, this has changed my life. Like one of her main goals that she said that she had was, I just want to be able to pick up my son and be able to play with him. And by the end of it, she was like, I can do that. I picked my son up today. She went to like festivals, and she would constantly have to have a walking stick and her hip would be really playing up. By the end of it, she was saying, I didn't have to bring my walking stick to town today, and I walked all around town without having to take a break and sit down. So just little things like that, and just thinking, wow, like what I'm doing is actually impacting this person's life in a positive way. Like, yeah, it's really impactful, and it almost makes you feel a bit emotional. You're like, okay, like, and like, obviously seeing someone literally cry because they haven't just stop PCing with you, and like saying like you've done all this for me. It makes you really realise how powerful it is. It is.
It's just wonderful.
Definitely.
I remember a client I had who was 70, and we chatted a bit before because I was on the gym floor when I ran around the gym floor like a madman, talking to everybody because that's what I was told to do, and I had no fear to talk to anyone. And I would talk to her, and she'd be like, "Well, there's no way I could do PT. There's no way I could have a personal trainer because I'm not fit enough to have a personal trainer."
I hear that all the time. Yeah, it's mental.
I'm not able to do the movements. You wouldn't be able to show me how to do things. Yeah?
That's my job.
Yeah.
It's literally my job.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
It's like, and then if anything, it's actually going to be more fun to work with you in a sense because it's going to be more challenging for me, more thoughts going to go into this session in a sense to try and give you that ability to push yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, we did them in half-an-hour sessions to start with. Yeah. When we first started together, she was sitting up and down on a box, and the box was at 60, so it was barely even a sit. It was a seat. It was higher than a chair, 60 centimeters off the ground, so it's higher than a chair. I'm not going to be too autistic, but I believe chairs are like 48 centimeters.
Thanks for that fact.
Yeah. Did you know tables are 70 centimeters high?
I didn't, and I'm sure I'll forget that instantly.
Yeah. Fun facts. But anyway, and then by the end of it, she's squatting, freestanding, holding a kettlebell.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it?
And it's just mad. But it took a lot. We tried everything. It was sitting on the box, sitting on a step, sitting on a ball, TRX, opening up her hip flexors, stretching, yoga, but PT yoga. So just doing some yoga stretches with how many times do people just not stretch? More the times out of 10, you can fix somebody's squat just by stretching before.
Oh God, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I don't back squat because I hurt my lower back. Well, and then you watch them do it, and they sit down like a chicken. And they peck the floor, and then I'm like, that's because you're good morninging that weight back up, You're squatting down great, and then you're good morning to get the bar back up because your head's gone between your legs, So I think it's great to work with people face to face.
Oh God, yeah.
And then online, people are desperate, I believe, for a bit more support. The bit where you and me have just lent into the gym, gone down YouTube rabbit holes, that is definitely something about our personality that gives us that ability to when it's hard, I'm going to go harder. When it's tough, I'm going to go to the gym, be the last guy in there because I'm enjoying it, because I've got nowhere else to be,
I used to go to the gym at 10 p.m. on a Friday night just because I felt good that I was the only guy in there. Yeah,
exactly. And again, we're not saying do them all the time, but no. When you're going to get results in a 6 to 8 week window is when you can get 1 or 2 of those sessions in.
Yeah, just lock in.
Lock it in. You will get those bonus sessions. When you have nailed your 3 sessions and you're asking for a bit more that week, then that means your body wants to do a bit more. Go do it. Yeah. Double up if you need to, because you probably didn't destroy your muscles. We could go massively into rest days now. But just briefly on that, but before we go into rest days, online coaching and the community and the drive that people need. People just need a bit of support, don't they?
Oh God, yeah, 100%. I feel like that's the biggest difference between the in-person aspect of things and the online coaching aspect. The reason that I love in-person coaching is because you do get a lot of the people that we just spoke about that have never really used the gym before, don't really know what they're doing, are really unfit, are really unexperienced, and you're watching this person grow in their knowledge base and setting up that foundations that they're going to take with them for the rest of their life, essentially. But the online coaching, in my experience, I find I attract clients who are maybe a bit more experienced. They've been going to the gym, they're confident with their form, they know how to train with intensity, they know how to track their calories, and they know the sorts of things they should be eating. They just don't know how to put the pieces of the puzzle together, and they need that support and guidance to take what they've already done to the next level. So that's why I enjoy doing both the in-person stuff and the online stuff, because I find it's just a different clientele you get to work with.
Yeah, certainly. For me, the online is more about just the community of people that need that extra push. Like they're doing it on their own, but they just feel totally isolated. Families obviously maybe sometimes not leaned in on it yet. When your family don't lean in on it with you and you are busy, it's tough, because then they're like, why are you going to the gym? What are you going to these classes for? Why are you buying creatine? Well, what's all this protein for in the house, you know? So, yeah, obviously working with a community and working online is a great way for you to step up anywhere through these plateaus and different stages like that. Rest days, just really briefly on rest days, because we can proper geek out on this. Now, you probably need a rest day if you've done, like, your chest day. So say you've done, do you do chest and chest on its own? Are you doing a 5-day split?
No, so I think the bro split, like what you're referring to, for anyone that doesn't know what a bro split is, it's just one muscle group per day. So like chest on Monday, back on Tuesday, shoulders on Wednesday, and so on. You're just doing one muscle group per session.
Front of legs, back of legs.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best way to train.
No.
Like there's actually literally been studies done where if you do like 6 chest exercises on a Monday, or you separate it out and do 3 chest exercises on a Monday and then another 3 on Thursday, for instance. Over the week, that's the same amount of volume, but because you've given your body enough time to actually recover, it can perform better on those next 3 exercises on your chest that you'd usually do as all 6, and therefore you get more growth out of it at the end of the week. So,
if you're listening.
Exactly. Yeah,
if that makes any sense. But if not, just DM Jon and he'll explain it more and get you on his online program. So, but rest days then for you. So you're doing what then? You're doing just super overview of your programming, and then when do you feel like you need a rest?
I train my entire upper body. I do my entire lower body, and I take a rest day, take a day off.
Right.
Then I do my chest, shoulders and triceps. Then I do my back and biceps. Then I do my legs, then I take another rest day. So I do 2 days on, 1 day off, 3 days on, 1 day off.
Wow.
And it rotates like that every week.
Nice. But then let's just say, like, so clients are going to say to you, do I need a rest day? Like,
yes, 100%. Yeah.
But what if they're only training twice a week? Should they do both those days together?
I literally just ask people, what can you realistically commit to? Because there was no point in me telling you, you need to do this if you can't do it. So all of the plans that I've ever done for anyone is always built entirely around them. So if they can only come Thursday and Friday, I'd maybe put them on like a full body push day and a full body pull day. So they're training their entire body, but because they're training back to back, they're never training the same muscle group again. They're training like the opposite sides of their body. So they're always coming in with enough recovery to work a new muscle without it being over fatigued. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. It does. So that means that I can train Monday, Tuesday, for example, if I'm going away at the weekend.
Yes, 100%.
Because I'm going to do upper body on Monday, lower body on Tuesday.
Yeah, for instance. Right? Exactly. There's so many different ways you can break it down.
Yeah. But then also, do you think if I'm on my own and I'm training without a PT and I haven't had a PT before, do you think I'm properly hitting that intensity? If I'm not sending you videos because you're not doing me an online program, do you really believe that I'm hitting that intensity to need a rest day? Or if I was in a newbie gains phase and I said I wanted to go 4 times this week, do you think it's going to affect it or not?
Oh, no, not at all. The only thing I'd ever say is don't train 7 days a week. I'd say your body needs at least 1 day off.
Sure.
But I'd never say, like, if someone was going 2 days a week, I'd never say don't go 3. If someone was going 3, I'd never say don't go 4. Like, whatever you can realistically commit to, go the most you can. Realistically, to a certain extent, the more we can go, the better. All I would ever say is don't go every single day. Your body needs that rest.
But always take that workout if it's there.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially if you don't know what's happening over the rest of the weekend.
Oh, God, yeah. Never sit there and go, I trained yesterday, so I'm not going to do anything today.
Yeah, but I could actually train today, but I can't train tomorrow.
Yeah, like 100%. Go and get it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Good. So we've covered quite a lot of stuff. Have we missed anything? We obviously, you do, help people gain and lose weight. We've covered that. You've got an amazing story, which I think you need to tell everybody a bit more about.
Cheers.
Because I'd love to see some more of those pictures and see those. Because I really think there's a massive part of the market is skinny dudes just can't get size.
Yeah.
They think it's so impossible. It's probably more depressing than a fat guy trying to lose weight, because I think at least a fat guy, if he puts his mind to it, or a girl, or just not fat, let's just say, who has a surplus of body fat, yeah? I'm not fat shaming anyone here. Jokes. I am fat shaming.
Yeah. I'm proud.
Yeah. But you know, like, it seems like the results come quicker. It just seems like I've spent...
Fat loss.
Yeah. I've seen so many guys just say, like, I'm just like, or if anything, the classic thing happens to them, which is a classic thing that happens to your client going the other way. You have a woman, within the first 2 weeks of training, she puts on weight, yeah? And then I'm like, yeah, that's normal, because you've not been doing everything I've told you to. You've done half, so your body's gone up. And then straight back down, and then it will continue down if you follow the plan. But with a guy, I bet you, in the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks of wanting to build muscle, I bet you he ends up losing weight.
Oh God, yeah.
And then he panics.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah.
All their body weight will like stay the same, because at first you just need to find the maintenance calories, how much you need to eat to just maintain your current body weight.
Right.
And then, because most of the time, if you're a skinny guy who struggles to eat enough, you're probably not even eating to your maintenance. You're probably like eating under what your body actually requires to eat.
Right.
So you then start eating more than that, and your body just continues to maintain weight, because it's like, okay, well done, you finally give me what I actually need, thanks, I'm just going to run your body efficiently with that now.
Right.
So they're like, I'm eating more, but I'm still not gaining weight. So there's like that second layer of like, well, now we're up to your maintenance, and now we need to push past that so you can actually start to gain weight. So yeah, and also the results do come slower, because obviously if you gain weight too fast, it's just fat mass you're adding. And you genetically can only build muscle at a certain rate. So you have to take it slow, because you're building the muscle, inevitably you'll gain a little bit of fat. But if you try to accelerate that process, you won't accelerate the muscle gain, you'll just accelerate the fat gain. And then you just become fat. So
do you actually build muscle slower than you lose fat?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'll need to insert statistics below. I will do that. And then just one other thing that made me think about that. What do you really think if I'm trying to build some muscle and I'm really trying to follow the food? Like, I have to take food with me where I'm going. I have to make prep and I have to take it. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But tell me a bit more about that. So let's say I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to take 5 boiled eggs to the office because, John, I'm a director, or I'm like a...
Not everyone's as inconsiderate as me.
Yeah. And I don't bench 200 at the moment, so I'm not going to cause that trouble. But what could a normal amount of food look like in a small bag? Or like, what would you suggest? Give me some top tips.
I mean, just rice-based meals. They're so easy to prep. I mean, you can like prep if you eat meat, or if you don't eat meat, whether you can prep your protein base over here, whether that's chicken, corn, whatever, steak, like whatever you want.
Yep.
You can prep that. You can prep your rice. You can prep whatever seasoning, whatever sauce, whatever vegetables you actually enjoy. It doesn't have to be plain chicken, broccoli and rice.
Yep.
It can be whatever you actually enjoy and look forward to eating. Put some sauce on it if you'd like. And mix it together. Ideally heat it up, or if you like eating cold food, eat it cold. Just put it in a pot and take it with you.
And then eggs though, let's say I don't want to boil them. Can make a tortilla, can make an omelette.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Scoop them down in the morning.
Yeah, I mean you can
Never
make
shake them. Don't shake
never.
your eggs unless you're actually hardcore.
No.
Have you never done that?
No.
You never cracked an egg into your shake in the morning?
Well, just add it. No.
No, mate.
No,
It
never.
makes it so fluffy.
Oh, mate, no. I don't even want to think about it.
It's so nice. And then you're obviously, sorry, yeah, go on.
Yeah, just on that, another great thing you can do if you are looking to gain weight and you want to meal prep, but you don't want to have to cook these overly complex meals, is literally just make what I call calorie shakes. So just like milk, oats, protein powder, maybe a bit of peanut butter, some fruit, just for the health benefits, blend it up and drink it. I mean, I had one this morning with me at work. It was 1,000 calories, and I literally just drank it over the space of about an hour, just slowly sipping it. I actually enjoyed eating it. It's just
But
easy.
the total yogurt, the full fat Greek yogurt, not full fat, sorry, the Greek yogurt is a daily for you.
Yeah. And that's just for protein.
Yeah? And you mixing in some protein powders to that? Or are you just having it raw now?
Occasionally. Sometimes I have it with like a little bit of honey. I like some nuts in there as well sometimes, just to add a bit of texture, because obviously yogurt's just quite goopy.
Yeah.
The same.
True.
But if I have a day where I'm like, say I've gone out for a meal with my girlfriend, and then I'm like, oh, that wasn't a very protein-dense meal, then I'll just have an extra scoop of protein in the Greek yogurt to just make up the protein.
Cool. So your non-negotiables are going to be, if you're bulking, I'm going to have non-negotiables are going to be, I'm going to have my calorie shake. I've got to try and get my 5 eggs. I'm going to at least get some yogurt.
Yeah, and then, that's just me personally.
And then rice and chicken on top.
Yeah, or rice and corn products.
Okay, sorry, rice and corn products.
That's just me personally. That's not like the only way to bulk.
Yeah, but that's a good start because we often forget that people don't know what we take for granted. People don't know the things that we forget to tell them because they don't know what we take for granted.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they don't know that sometimes the simplest thing to get to your goal is to buy a £15 cooler bag off Amazon.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and buy some Tupperware. You know.
Oh, Tupperware's a lifesaver.
Yeah,
I'd be lost without Tupperware.
Cool. So, if you want to catch out Jon online, it is
Jon Brown Coach.
Yeah, nice. He's got some good videos, like really good ones, talking to the camera loads now. So,
thank you very much.
I see you blow up. I want to see that other account have some what are we calling it? Rage content.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Let's see what we can do on the other account. So drive some lookers. That is hilarious. Are you sure there's nothing else you've done that you forgot to tell me about?
I used to work for MI5.
No, yes, nice. Good. So look, guys, if you want to check out more from Jon, biggest guy in the gym who is a vegetarian, and then you obviously got me online. Keep the community going, keep the conversation going. Drop a like or an emoji or something fun, and if it is working for you, subscribe on YouTube's, and if not, I will see you guys next time.
Awesome.
Fist bump.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Just like that.